Starting strong with today's shift. So I get in early every morning and I do TikToks before everybody gets there. So I'm just used to it, whatever. So I always get there before everybody else in. So the second girl comes in, she always comes in pretty early, whatever. And all of a sudden, like, time's going by, like, I get the ice, she's doing outside, like, the patio, we're getting everything set up, and all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, like, we're at the point where we're brewing coffee, like, where are the other two girls? Because normally we have two girls up front that, like, kind of run, like, the hostess thing and, like, the carry-out, and then me and, like, another waitress, like, there'll be, like, 2 or 3 of us, depending on the busyness of the day, that, like, will man the dining room. Or we'll man the dining room, whatever you want to call it. So all of a sudden, like, nobody's coming. They text the manager or whatever. And mind you, at this point, I'm one of those people, like, I've kind of hit a point where I'm just like, not my circus, not my monkeys. I get paid $6 an hour. I really don't care. Like, whatever. We can give the service that we can give. But, like, in this economy, like, nobody wants to work. I don't know. And the people who do work, like, I don't know. They just, like, don't understand how things work. So one of the girls calls out, but she only calls out because the manager called her to be like, where are you? And she's like, oh my God, like, I got back from vacation. I didn't know I had to take off the day after. And she's like, well, yeah, girl, like, we need people. So I had to schedule you, whatever. So she calls out right then and there. And it's like, okay. And then I guess from my understanding, the manager last night had said something about 9:30 to the other girl, but not meaning like come in at 9:30. She just meant like 9:30 as in, oh, at 9:30 we should do this, and whatever. So it was a misunderstanding. So we have nobody, manager still isn't there. So it's me and one other girl, everything. Of course. I take the first table, whatever. Next table comes in. Can we sit outside? I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but like all of a sudden we both kind of glance at each other like, oh no. Because now we're making laps. Now like the space in which you have to work has doubled. And we're like, oh, okay, we're starting right when we open the doors outside. Okay, this is going to be fun. So, we're getting a couple carryouts, but they're regulars. Like, we know what to do. We know how to schmooze these people. They're nice. We're quick. We're fast. We're good. Manager comes in. That's fine. Were we a little annoyed? Yeah. Why? Because every time, like, we talked about this, like, last week, and this was, like, between all the workers. We talked about it over the weekend, and we were talking about how, like, the job, for some reason, you go in there, and it's, like, no one can really handle more than 4 days in this building. Mind you, our shifts are 8 hours. You're there at 7:30. You normally leave around like 3:30, but the open hours are from 8 to 3. So I don't know, like, it's just like you're there for 4 days and all of a sudden you become a different person. And I feel like that is like with like any restaurant, but this place is very different. It's like everybody there knows what needs to be done to fix it, but like nobody really knows how to go about doing it. Because it's just the turnover with employees is so quick. There's really no training at all. Like, to be honest, like no one's really trained. They kind of just like throw you in there. And then it's like kind of just like specials, but for no reason. Half of the time you can tell that they're just made up with AI. Like, look, these are the ingredients in our kitchen. Give me some recipes that we can do. Because like a couple months ago, and I'm not trying to throw any shade, like who the fuck thought it was a good idea to make, it was like some pea toast, but like pea spread toast with like cucumbers and like sprouts on it. I'm sorry, we are not a vegan restaurant. We're like a gluten allergy restaurant, like if that. Okay, no. And I don't understand like why you make specials in order to adjust your menu. Why? Because you can look up in the system who's ordering what specials. Specials work and you're like, oh my goodness, that works. That's why you put it on the menu. Why? Because then you create a menu that is made for the palate of the town. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but the specials should be run only to figure out the palate of the town and to keep the menu changing, consistent, but figure out what these people like, and then you adjust the menu. The things that aren't selling, you adjust it, and you take those things out, and then you put the specials that sell really good, and then that way you have a menu that when people come in, they have 5 different things that they always want, so they have to keep coming back. I'm gonna shut up, because then whatever. Anyway, so finally, one girl comes in, and this is what I don't like either. I hate when people come in late to work, and they're like, everybody's mad at me. No shit. Get in there. I don't need the face. I don't need the energy. Get in there. We're getting busy. Go seat the door. Okay. I don't need the, poor me. Nope, not poor you. You're not the victim. The people who got here on time and had to fucking do your job and their job are the victims. So you shut up, walk in with the fucking head up, and go to work. So I just don't, that's another thing I just don't understand about but that's a general human behavior. So whatever. Same kind of behavior as like when people say things like, or do things to you, but then when you complain to somebody about it, like management, or you complain to that person, they start backpedaling. It's like, no. I want you to be just as full chested as you were when you did it to me. Then like, it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to fucking do it. Do it before and do it after. And when you get called out for it, I did it. But don't sit here and do something and then pretend like you didn't do that. I can't stand that. And everybody does that. Mind you, you can tell that I'm one of those people that when I work with you, I'm extremely direct. Do I know how to deliver? Not at all. Do I come off as a bitch? Completely. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I've been doing this for so long that my patience is gone. Anyway, story continues. So we're kind of steady, whatever. All of a sudden help comes in, boom, table stop coming in. Why is it every time in a restaurant when you don't have people there, you're starting to get balls to the wall busy, you can't do anything, and the second people show up, boom, nobody wants to come in anymore? What is that? And it's like clockwork. It's like, you know what, if I want to make money, let me just call everybody out. Because then everybody in the town's going to want to come eat that singular morning. It just makes no sense. Anyway, so whatever, that happens. And mind you, I start noticing the girl that works with me. I love the girl to death, but I've been doing this for so long, I can run circles, okay? You give me that little toast machine, faster, okay? I can take everybody because I got the computer right there. I can just go. I'm very fast, very efficient. I don't waste time, and I can tell people, I'll be all right back. You know how quick I am, I can go. And people like listen to me, whatever, cool. And I'm good about it. I've been doing this for so fucking long. It's not like hard for me. Anyway, so I start noticing this girl is like giving me this table. I'm getting double sat here. I don't mind. I'm gonna take it because who doesn't like extra money? You know, if I don't have to be a shark, if Jaws doesn't have to come out and you're just gonna give it to me, well, okay. So I'm taking all these tables. Mind you, my sales at the end of the day were like $1,600. This girl, $1,100. So you're not gonna tell me that she wasn't like handing her tables off. Something that I don't understand too. You're already stuck at the place. Take the tables. You're stuck there. There's nothing you can do. So anyway, I'm taking all these tables. Of course, I end up and this is like another thing that I hate. Bro, we have sections on the patio. You see someone going to the fucking patio in your section, you're supposed to take that. Well, no, I just got sat over here and da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm gonna take them. I made my money today. I'm not mad about it, but it's like, girl, like, I don't understand. I had a full patio and tables inside, and she had 3 tables. Girl, what are we doing here? Why do I have 10 tables to your 3? Why do I have 10 tables to your 3? I'm not mad because I'm doing fine with my money, but like, girl, you're stuck here. And she works a second job. Honey, the jaws need to come out. Anyway, so whatever, the day kind of ends the way it always ends. I do all, I close the whole patio, close the floors, whatever, mop all the fucking floors, whatever. Nothing really special happened today. I mean, I guess we all kind of agreed today also again that place is toxic. We all agree that like it's toxic. And it was funny today because, and excuse me if you see this, but there is this type of narrative that has been created since I've worked there. I've been there for like a year and a half, almost, I think March will be 2 years. And it's this narrative of like, I'm not going to say names, but poor so-and-so. And if you know people who are in the story, you know that it's always the same person that's like, oh, poor so-and-so, oh, poor so-and-so. And I've started to realize, and like, I mean this in the nicest way, but you cannot be a perpetual victim. Red flag. If you are constantly a perpetual victim, you are the problem. I said what I said. So that's another issue because there's always this poor so-and-so narrative that goes on in the restaurant and they're never there. They leave when anything big happens and they're someone that's very important in the restaurant that we need there for a lot of things. But whenever there's like a minor drama, gone. I had an appointment. I had to do this. Like, that's your job. You're supposed to fix that. Whenever anyone's getting burnt out, like there's like anytime you go to them with a problem, it's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Do you know what I had to do? And it's like, bitch, I wasn't talking about you. So there's no like empathy on their behalf. Like you try to tell them something and the story always turns into like, it's about them. And like, and it's different. It's different than the people who want to relate to you and be able to make you feel heard. There's a huge difference than that, or just boom, reverting it to me and I can only worry about myself. Sorry you had to deal with it, but I'm dealing with this. And that's been the case since I've started working there. So now that person has been like weaning away like very quickly. What's happening? Oh, I didn't realize someone was parked right there. What's happening? So now the other person they've put in charge is so burnt out, because let's be honest, managing adults is like managing giant children that literally should just know how to come to work, do their job and fucking leave. But they don't. Adults don't do that. I don't know why nobody does that, but like they go to work, they create all this drama, they barely do the job, and then they fucking leave, and then they leave all the work for the person tomorrow. Tell me why I did salts and peppers on Monday. Mind you, today's Friday. I come, the salts and the peppers for the dining room are done, but nobody did them for the patio. And they did them for the lower tables, but not for the upper tables. So there's 5 tables that don't account for the salts and peppers. I'm sorry. So you're telling me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when I was there, nobody could have taken any of that work and been like, you know what? It's just 5 salts and peppers. No, we're going to actively not, and all the salts and peppers are there to stock right then and there. So you're telling me that you're actively not going to stock all the salts and peppers. You're going to be like, well, those 5, 10, because 5 salt, 5 pepper, those 10 I don't need to do. Bitch, they're already sitting there. Why are you doing this? Because you know someone, me, or the other girl I had to work with today, because she's a pick up the slack kind of person. Why? And it's because these people count on it. And I don't mean to sound like it, but like, it's just annoying. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, okay, so my friend and I have this fucking joke about, like, the fucking baker that, like, we just started calling her ET because Ho is always trying to find her way to get home. She's always trying to go home. Bitch, and I love my job. I love the regulars. And I really love the people I work with. They're really cool. Yeah, we fight, but that's because we're, like, a giant family. And, like, yeah, the toxic ones, whatever. But, like, I don't understand why it's just... We got to run a barista this year. What the fuck do we need a barista for? So you're telling me that I got to tip out now on top of my net sales to people who already aren't cleaning my tables, can barely seat a table, because let's be honest, the art of hosting is dead. Okay. Back in my day, and I know this sounds stupid and you can throw shade at me, we had a little whiteboard with tallies, honey. Okay. A little dry erase board with tallies. We did it fine. We knew what a rotation was. We knew how to do it. You put that toast machine in front of fucking anybody and they become a dipshit. I become a dipshit. I can't fucking do that toast machine. Then we wanted to, you know what we wanted to try on Mother's Day? Oh my God, let's start an online wait list on the busiest day of the year and see how that works. That was a nightmare. So I don't understand why certain things are like, there's like a lot of changes made, but then the person who takes the backlash is this girl who's being put in charge when the other person like isn't there. Like they are there, but they're like half there because they had to step away from the business because it was too much, which I don't blame them. They're going through a lot of personal things that I totally understand, but there needs to be a right type of stepping away. The business is going so bad. And I mean, I've seen online that like this summer hasn't been the summer for like anybody, whatever. I'm going to agree with that because whatever, but like, it's just, this ain't it. And it's been so slow. I'm like so stressed out about it. And I don't know what I have to do for it to get busier. If you look at the online reviews, like my reviews are doing good. It's just everything else. Like we have this one cook who he was like an I don't care personality for so long until he got a complaint online. And now his tickets aren't taking 30 minutes for scrambled eggs and a fucking side of toast. You had to get a complaint. You had to make the restaurant so slow that now you're getting complaints and now you pick up the slack. Honey, you had this in you forever ago. And that's the problem with adults today. So now someone had to go out of their way to have an uncomfortable conversation of, hey, you're at work. Can you not do this? And this is why the manager that we've put in charge is so burnt out. because there are too many people doing just stupid asinine things that this woman has to take them aside and be like, hey, and mind you, having to take someone aside and tell them that they're not doing their job correctly or not behaving correctly in a work environment. I just want those people to know that are getting corrected. You know how stressful that is for the person to have to sit you down and be like, so, I've got a couple complaints, or like, so it's not fun for them either. It drains their energy. It causes them stress. And you can see it in this girl. She'll openly tell you how stressed out she is. But it's because they have just burnt her dry. They'll do all these specials, all these changes. Don't really give her much power, but then she's the one who gets all the complaints. What was the point of making her manager? You don't let her make any changes, any decision. The decisions are coming from a different restaurant, which is run a different way. The other restaurant is in a complete tourist zone. So I understand having menus on tables, cups on tables, everything ready to go. Our restaurant is a community. Okay. I know every single person that I wait on. They do not, half of them don't even need a menu. So why are you putting that shit on the table with the cups? And you're telling me I got to tell people, we used to have a fast ass turnover, but then it became, hold on, we can't seat you. We have to set your table to unset it. So you're a party of two when we're seating you at a 4-top. All right, let us set it for a 4-top, and then we're going to grab you guys and then unset it in front of you. Because again, lack of common sense in today's society. So it's just this cycle of random menu items. Oh, and by the way, we want to be a nitro bar. So now we got all these whipped creams, all these toppings. 4th of July month was the worst month of my entire life with all the random fucking alcoholic drinks, fizzes, fucking foams. We had, I think, 3 different cold foams, like a blueberry, a strawberry. We had Pop Rocks. We had fucking... Bitch, what are we doing here? What is this restaurant? People in this town want to come in, get a cute little latte, get their breakfast, and be out. I understand you want to do something, but you can't get to the bigger things until you've mastered the smaller things. So you're telling me I got to pay a barista who literally isn't even barista trained. Okay. And that's the thing that pisses me off. So they put in a barista thing because all the college girls come back, and I love my college girls. Put them on register. They make nasty lattes. I've seen some of their lattes. I wouldn't go near half their lattes. I'm a gay. Okay? I make a mean motherfucking latte. Put me in with the they thems. Okay? We know how to make a latte. Just like when you go to Starbucks. You get a they them gay? On is on. You know it's going to be the best latte you ever had. That's me. I'm part of that. So I know how to fucking make those lattes. You want me to pay one of these blonde ass white bitches to make a fucking latte? Are you fucking insane? Half these bitches have never even had coffee before. And then you're going to say, oh, but they are trained baristas. By who? Who? One of them told me she couldn't froth skim milk the other day. Honey, out of all the milks to froth? Don't piss me off. I don't even know what this rant was for, because at first it was to tell you my day, but now it's just fucking unwinding. I could go on all day about the things that have gone wrong in this place over the last fucking year and a half. But we're not going to go there. This is just a rant about whatever, you know? Things get better. Things improve. There's room for improvement, certainly, because let me tell you. But things will pick up. I'm really optimistic. Like, school starts, like, because we have a bunch of private schools around our restaurant. So school starts in a couple weeks. I feel like that will help, I hope. I don't know. I feel like everybody's maybe coming back from vacation now. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is it. I don't know. Today wasn't a regular Friday. Last summer, I was making 3 times as much as I'm making this summer. And I'm not exaggerating. Not exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating. 3 times as much last summer. 3 times. So it's like, today when I had that girl just giving me all our tables, I was like, well, I'm not going to say no, because, girl, I miss this money. I miss this money. It's not, things aren't the same. So, whatever. Clothes, you know, outside, clothes inside. Nothing was, like, special, you know. We all had, like, a good day. Music was pretty good. We did, like, what song did I start with? Because I always feel like Spotify, if you start with a good song, a lot of the times, it depends. I call them Spotify days. You can have a good Spotify day. Okay. You can have a bad Spotify day. You ever have a bad Spotify day where it doesn't matter what station you pick, all the songs are garbage, oldies that you hated, songs that you used to change the second they came on the radio. Like, it's like sometimes Spotify knows how to test me. So today was a good Spotify day. The song we started with, though, it wasn't Hillary Duff, Come Clean. I don't know. It was one of those kind of like vibe songs. I really wish I could remember, but it was like Disney rock songs all day. And then it was really cool because like first album Lady Gaga would pop up randomly. So I'm like, there's nothing else I can say. Hey. And I was like, wow, I haven't heard these songs in fucking forever. So that was really cool. Other than that though, the shift was pretty basic. I hung out with my friend Ashley after. She works with me. And that's that. So this is my first rant as like a first like day rant ever. I hope you guys kind of liked it. You can tell that there's like a lot of built up stress in there. So hopefully after me telling you guys like a bunch of stories, because they're definitely going to pop up just like they did with my first day of work. I just hope that after a while, like my stress level will go down because I'm sharing these like stressful server stories that everybody else has. Like another thing, our soups used to be fucking homemade. You can make really good, easy homemade soups. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. I'm a soup maker. Don't piss me off. So why the fuck are my cooks, mind you, it ain't nobody's business what these people make. I've never heard of anybody making what these cooks make. I'm not gonna say prices. They ain't salary. But I know, I've heard. Why aren't you making soups? Why do we run out of things? Why are we cutting tomatoes to order? Like slices of tomato to order, honey. Why don't you have that prepared? Wait, we take the term fresh sliced tomato, literally. We slice it right on to your, because they don't prep it. And then you wonder why tickets take 30 minutes. It's because these fucking dudes back here just don't take it seriously anymore. Like our soups are not homemade. That was my favorite part about my fucking job, was going in and having a homemade soup every single day. And it was something delicious. We used to have this Jamaican chef. Mind you, I don't know if you guys know this, in Jamaica, when they train chefs, they fucking train them. They fucking train them. This man knows how to run a kitchen. They train you to run a kitchen, not just cook. They train you to run a kitchen. This man never complained. Immaculate presentation. The cleanliness of his station, never seen anything like that before in his ticket times. His ticket times. He's gone. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other, what are we at, 21 minutes and 53 seconds? Yeah, that's a whole other fucking huge ass story. So anyway, that's a huge story. And then they replaced him with this guy, and I love this guy to death. He has a great personality, but he just doesn't care about what the food looks like, the quality, the presentation. He doesn't do prep, doesn't do backups, doesn't keep the station clean the way this other guy does. So when I get used to certain cooks that do things a certain way, I start judging you. Because if one man can do it, why can't you? And, you know, so that's another thing. We don't have any homemade soups. And it sounds so dumb, but like, I don't eat anything there anymore because it's just nothing is appetizing. The way this new cook cooks, he's not even new, but the way he cooks, I don't want to eat that. I see how you handle food. I don't want that. I know that sounds fucked up, but I'm not management. That's not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm not someone to tell someone I just don't eat every time I go in. So, yeah, I'll make myself a smoothie, but like other than that, I'm not eating there. Like I've had all that food so much. Like, do these people really think, what do you like on the menu? Bitch, nothing. I've had everything 500 fucking times because it's the only fucking food we have here. You think I want to eat a single morsel of anything that's on any of these menus? No, I'm good. So hopefully like while you guys watch my videos, you'll like learn, I don't want to say etiquette because all servers are just bitches and judging you, but like, I don't know, like, and I'm a really nice person and I really want people to feel comfortable in a restaurant. So like I do try to provide that kind of service where like you don't feel stupid. I don't ever want people to feel stupid because I go to restaurants and like a lot of times I don't even know what I'm going to order. And I am the type to ask someone, well, what do you like on the menu? Which is really funny because then later I'm like, what is this bitch? And you say you're a server? That's me. So I do the things that I say I hate, but whatever. I tip good. That's all I got. Like you can't tell me I don't tip good. I tip really good. Anyway, I think this rant is over. This is my first one. I'll probably get better at this. I was kind of nervous doing this. So yeah, leave comments about anything that's like messed up in your restaurant. I would love to know because then maybe I can relate my next video to that too. So peace out guys and thanks for watching.